Hi everybody, hope you're okay. It's the 29th of March. It's just over a week since the Chancellor announced the job retention scheme as one of the key business measures to support businesses who otherwise would have been looking to make people redundant or lay them off during this time. This new scheme gives them the option to furlough employees, take them out of the business with no work to do but still on the payroll. And that's a really important couple of points. They're not allowed to do any work for the business during this time, but they have to remain on the payroll. If people have been made redundant since 1st of March, you have to bring them back onto the payroll, and that can be backdated to that time. However, they have to have been on the payroll in the February pay run, so effectively at 28th of February. What's going to happen? Businesses are going to be able to make claims for some of this grant money, but first they have to process the payroll, whether on the normal salary or on a reduced agreed rate. And it should be agreed with the employee. I'm not an employment lawyer, but there's going to be some interesting discussions around that. The 80% grant up to a maximum of £2,500 is based on someone's normal salary. As far as we're aware at the moment, that doesn't therefore include bonuses or commissions. So I think we're talking about their contractual basic salary. As far as we know, that will have to be processed in the normal way through PAYE with tax and national insurance calculated and reported to HMRC as normal. Although at the moment, of course, we can defer those liabilities. Once the scheme is then up and running towards the end of April, employers will be able to upload the furloughed employee information and into the new portal with HMRC and then calculate and claim back the grants. There's also some complexity in the calculation because of, for example, auto-enrolment costs and employers' NIC. I've put the link below to HMRC's website with the latest furloughing information, so take a look at that and see if your circumstances meet. There are a number of unanswered queries here, and in particular I'm taking a lot of questions about what about directors? Can directors ever truly be furloughed? And the answer is probably no, they can't. They still have business decisions to make, even during this time and when they're off-site and perhaps the business isn't doing anything. We don't have absolute clarity yet whether directors will qualify. In particular, if directors do qualify and a director is on a low salary and a dividend top-up, the dividend is not part of PAYE and therefore the dividend is not going to qualify. So a number of directors who are on low salaries, even if we get the nod that they do meet the criteria to be furloughed, it will only be 80% of, in theory, quite a small monthly amount. For now, what we do know is the minimum length of time that a furloughed employee can be furloughed for is 3 weeks. So be mindful of that, especially if you're in a situation where some employees become ill and have to be tagged in and tagged out. So just be mindful of that 3-week minimum period. We know that agency workers, part-time, full-time and 0-hour contract employees do qualify provided they were on the payroll in February. I'm hoping for a bit more clarity on various matters. In particular, what if we've had a new employee who's moved to us, signed a contract a couple of months ago to start work in March, they weren't on the last run, what happens to them? At the moment it reads that there's not going to be this option for that particular employee. A key point for the business, when this money comes back in, the grants themselves will be in essence an income line, an extra other income line, basically to net off against the cost in the P&L. And so it's going to reduce the allowable deduction in your corp tax comp. So you're not going to get it both ways, basically. For now, please take a little look at the link to HMRC's website. Be careful what you're reading online. There's a lot of opinions and commentary out there, but at the moment, a lot of them are just opinions, because until more guidance comes out, we are not in a position where anyone's got absolutely firm knowledge of how this process will definitely work. I hope this was helpful. It is only a bit of a whistle-stop tour again, but spend a little bit of time on the link, and in the interim, take care. I'll come back on when we've got a wee bit more information.